Guys, welcome back to Supercar Street Racing one more time. This is Brad here, and I'm so happy to have you guys with us on the channel in the Supercar Street Racing living room here. Today we have to fix a problem, and it's all because of this Netgear Nighthawk modem right there. That thing has been giving me issues for almost 2 years, but today that changes because of what's on the table right here. I have absolutely been dreading this day. Today is the day that I have not been looking forward to at all. And the reason is because I need to get a new system for Wi-Fi. And what I have decided, and I looked at the new 7 Wi-Fi 7 is what it's called. It has pretty nasty reviews. So we have gone ahead and gotten the Eero Pro kit here. That is a mesh Wi-Fi 6 system. Now I have a mixture of 3 different things here, almost 4, and it might stay that way because I have so many devices to connect. But here's my problem. Sometimes this Netgear Nighthawk will not allow connections to it at all. Now, I'm saying what happens is you connect to it with Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi connections will drop off the planet, and in order to get them working again, you have to reboot this router. Now, we do have several other things in this house, and I'll show you one of those right now. We do have this access point in the garage, and that is so that our cameras outside there can get Wi-Fi because, like I said, it's hard to get Wi-Fi to this corner of the house. It's pretty far away from the router. This access point here provides Wi-Fi for a lot of my smart home devices. It simply is a Wi-Fi repeater. It connects to a Wi-Fi signal and then it broadcasts a new signal with a new name. This router sitting here in my home theater room is also a Wi-Fi solution. It is connected hardwired via a LAN cable to the switch inside of the living room, and it also provides a set of network Wi-Fi connectivity that a lot of our smart home devices use here. The Netgear Nighthawk modem here is connected to a switch which is located underneath this little cabinet right here, and that switch does provide LAN connections to my work area, to the studio, and that's what we're going to be replacing today. We're going to get rid of all this stuff and we're going to go with this, hopefully this Eero surfboard modem and this Eero Pro 6E kit. Now the first step to this whole thing is getting this Eero modem out and getting it set up. One thing we have to consider with this whole new setup is all our existing devices and what access points they connect to. Now, a lot of them connect to the main access point, and we know these Wi-Fi network names need to stay the same. That's the most important thing. When we set up our main router right here, we have a router here, we have a cable modem here, they are not integrated. This, we're going to use the same access point names, because if we don't, we have to go program probably 100 smart home devices and they will not be happy. They want the same Wi-Fi access point names, and they want the same, and when I say access point names, I actually mean SSID, which is the name of the Wi-Fi network. They want the same SSID, and they want the same passwords. Down here in the Supercar Street Racing TV stand, we have our switch, and we have our network, like it's a NAS drive. Basically, it's a Western Digital MyBook. It's pretty old, over 10 years old. But this switch is going to provide LAN because the new Eero only has 2 ports. One will go to the cable modem, and the other one will go to my switch right here. We have the Eero surfboard modem, and it's so tiny, but if you think about this, this is not a router or a Wi-Fi access point at all. It's not a Wi-Fi router. This does not route, so you have to have an external router. Now what the router does, it acts as a gateway between the internet and your devices. And once this guy provides a signal to the router, which is one of these, this guy will do all the routing to your home network, and this will be your gateway. So the first thing to do is get the cable modem up and running and provisioned with Comcast, and I have heard that a lot of people have had issues with the MAC addresses here. So what we want to do is go ahead and get a picture of the MAC address on the bottom of this, just so we have it, and we'll do that with our phone. And in case we have to go to Comcast with problems, we want to have that ready. So it's also a good idea just to take a good idea and to file that away in your Google Drive or something like that if you have one, just to keep it on record. And so we did take a picture of the MAC address of that. And so now we can go ahead and try to get this set up. Now, one other consideration is your subnet. So your subnet, this gateway that I have now is the gateway address of the device. And this is your local LAN, not your WAN, not your internet, but your local LAN has its own subnet, and this router is on 192.168.0.1. My plan is to put this back on 192.168.0.1. Now what that means also is that this guy was actually passing out IP addresses to the LAN, the internal LAN, on that subnet. So everything in my house would be 192.168.0 and then a number between 0 and 254. We're going to reset that up now the way it is, just to stop headaches and lessen any chances of us having problems. Now if you notice on the back of the Nighthawk here, it actually has 2 LAN ports. Let me crank the lights up here. It actually has 2 LAN ports on the back that are occupied. One of them goes to the switch down there and the other one goes to something else. It actually goes to the studio. So the studio is taking one of the LAN ports on the cable modem. We will have to move the studio down to the switch down there. So yeah, first things first, we got to get this disconnected, get it out, and move one of these wires to the switch. We have a couple of wall boxes here that have Cat5 Ethernet run to them. One of them goes to the home theater room. The other one goes to the opposite side of the wall. And we actually have 3. One goes to the home theater room, one goes to the opposite side of the wall for the local office work, and the third one goes to the studio right here. They are not labeled. I'm going to go ahead and label those right now. Okay, like I was saying before, we have 2 Cat5 cables going to the Netgear Nighthawk, which we have to move. But before we do anything to the Netgear Nighthawk, we want to make sure that our new modem will provision, because I've had people say that it will not. Now this is a refurbished modem and it was $105 on Amazon, and this is the Eero Surfboard S33 V2. So we're going to need power for our modem. This is only temporary, and we do have a power strip. We do have power on our Eero. So let's go ahead and get this thing provisioned with the phone. Right here on the phone, we are in the Xfinity app. We want to start activating our modem. We have found an active cable outlet. We have connected the coax cable. We have powered it up. And then now we have to put the MAC address in, which we cannot show here. All right, so now the Comcast app is looking for the modem, and it says it will take up to 11 minutes. The modem is flashing green at this point. Now our Eero modem has gone from orange to flashing green, And Comcast does say activating your service at this point, so we're waiting on that to happen. We have successfully activated the Eero Surfboard S33 with no problems whatsoever. It was smooth as glass. And now our next step is to actually plug our router in and get that. We should be able to go ahead and remove our router now, but we have to move both of these guys to the switch, and there are some cable ties here, but they might still reach. So the next part is actually unboxing our new router system. Let's get going on that. This is the Eero Pro 6E mesh Wi-Fi system, and the reason I went with the 6 and not the 7 is because the 7 actually had bad reviews already. The 6 has been proven as a very capable device, and it does use Wi-Fi 6 technology. We'll explain that a little bit when we go into the Supercar Street Racing Studios, but first things first, let's get this Eero unboxed ASAP for you. And we see the Eero Pro 6E here looking so fresh and fly. And I am hyped. And we're all done with the Eero. It looks like it was successful in setting up. We'll see if we have issues with that. But this is the Pro Mesh system, Eero Pro 6E with routing capabilities. It is a tri-band system, supports up to 2.3 gigabits per second. It has 2 Ethernet ports. It's a 3-pack, so I have 3 of these to put out. That means any of these 3 can connect to Ethernet, or they can just repeat the Wi-Fi system without that. So over inside the box, we have this Eero setup manual with 3 really nice looking power supplies. So we need to go ahead and get this Eero connected to a power supply. I have already downloaded the app in the phone, so I'm ready for that part. I'm gonna go ahead and apply power to the Eero, and I will be selling this guy. And we do have power for our Eero. All right, it says it found an Eero Pro 6E, so it says it's connected to the internet, but I have not connected the cable. We need the Ethernet cable. I was not able to connect to the internet. This is where my nightmare begins, so I am resetting the cable modem. If that doesn't work, I'm gonna move the Ethernet port to the other port and try again, and then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna call Comcast and see what's going on. Wow, I can't actually believe it, but we did get past that part now, and it is saying, where is your device located? It is in the living room. Now we have to set up our Wi-Fi stuff. We have to do that off camera, but it's asking for the Wi-Fi name. We're going to repeat what we have now. As you can see on the screen on the phone, we are fully set up now with the Eero, and we're going to click Finish Setup for now because we don't have to do anything, but it wants to update the software, so we're going to go ahead and let it do that on the device now. And now it says it's updating, so we'll get back to you guys when it is done. All right, we have a bunch of devices already showing up. I haven't touched any of the settings here. The Eero, I think, is ready to go. We do kind of want to play with the network though. We want to change the gateway and the network settings so that it passes out different IP addresses. I think, I'm trying to remember if I have anything that we need to do specific IPs on. I don't think we have anything with static IPs. Now we have gone ahead and changed our default gateway address to match the old default gateway because we have some devices with static IPs, and it wanted to have the device on a different subnet. So we changed it and rebooted, and that's what we're doing now. It's restarting. Our Eero has come back online now. I'm connecting the switch to it. This provides wireless or wired connectivity to the everything wired in the house. So let's see what happens with that. We have connected wired. I'm gonna check a couple of the wired devices and see what happens. All right, I did check on my wired devices and they are good to go. This is a big bonus. Now our next device is going to go into the home theater room, and I made a tough decision about the many different networks that we have here. And we're gonna try to reprogram everything. It's gonna be difficult. I have a lot of reprogramming to do. but we're going to try to move everything to one SSID name and call it that, because we have like 8 different ones right now. We'll go ahead and plug that in, and this has a hardwired Ethernet connection to the world. We have updated successfully the Eero Pro 6E here in the theater room, and I have decided to bite the bullet and just name everything on one SSID. Starbase 2.4E, I mean, we have to recode a bunch of devices, but we have too many SSIDs floating around here, and we will buy another one of these for the Supercar Street Racing Studios so that we have them everywhere. Out in the SCSR garage is where we have another access point. We will need a total of 4, so we simply just plug in the new device right there for now. So it is updating now, so we'll go ahead and let this finish. Out here in the Supercar Street Racing 4K production studio, and we have an upgrade for this guy as well. We have another Eero Pro 6E that we will be hardwiring to the network here. So all we have to do right here and right now is figure out how to get the plastic off of this box, because we don't have a knife. So do you think that our skills are good enough to do this? Let's go ahead and plug this guy in, but let's put the Ethernet port in first. You can plug it into either port in the back when you're using it like this as an access point. And then let's go ahead and fire it up and get the app out. Found it. It found an Eero Pro 6E. We got everything plugged in up here. We got our Eero device plugged into the switch. It is booting up right now. All we need to do is make sure it has a link light here in a minute. Yep, it just linked. We just got a notice on the app that the SCSR Studio router is up and functional. You probably can't see that, but it is online, it is wired, and it is 1 gigabits per second, so that is perfect. You can see right there the settings. So the studio is ready to go. All we have to do now, and it doesn't have any connected devices yet, but it will. It says it's connected now as wired, and I'm gonna go ahead and set up some of the devices in here now to connect to the new network. The next part of the equation of the Wi-Fi system has arrived, and this is the, I'm not even making this up, Cool Woo Fan wall mount holder for the Eero Pro 6. And supposedly, this thing is so easy to hang up that it just literally plugs into the plug, and then the actual cable just wraps around the back like this. You see how it just winds around like that? And we're gonna go over there and plug this in right now and see how this works outside in the Supercar Street Racing garage. And hopefully the access point actually comes back online. Let's see. And on the back here, I forgot to mention to you guys, we do have instructions on the rear for installing. You slide the guy into the bracket right here. Step 2, you wind the cable on the back, and 3. And then step 4, you plug it right in. So let's go see if it works that easily. Guys, this is kind of an ingenious design here. We've got our Eero here we're gonna have to unplug. But what I'm gonna do right here and right now is go ahead and undo this, and a lot of devices are gonna go offline. But what you do is you put the cable through the back like this, and then you just kind of wrap it around. So let's try that out and see what happens. All right, we got the wire coiled around the back, and now we have our Eero mount there looking so fresh. And it looks great. It literally just sits there and holds the Eero up while that thing is rebooting. You can see the light right there. Now, I do have 3 of these, and I have a Eero in the theater room that can be hidden behind the couch or something like that. So I'm gonna go grab that right now and get that one done as well. All right, we got the Eero behind the couch here. Now, the only issue I see here is that it is preventing the couch from going up against the wall, so I may want to move that. It just puts a little bit of space back there, but on the other hand, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a big deal. All right, guys, right in front of me, we have the final piece of the Eero puzzle here with the Eero 6 Wi-Fi extender, and this guy is going to go live in the bedroom. We have a perfect little spot right here for the Eero, so all we have to do is plug the Eero in right here behind the lamp. Eero can sit right on the other side of the lamp right there, and the cord will hide nicely. And we are just going to go ahead and let it boot all the way up and then add it right in the app. Okay, it's going ahead and adding the Eero 6 right now. This is the bedroom. Now let's see if it wants to update the firmware here, which it likely will. Finish setup. Yep, it's going to go ahead and install a new firmware on the access point. It's trying to sell us this garbage, which you don't need. And now everything is updating. We just have to wait for it to get done. All right, we are all done setting up our extender in the bedroom. You can see everything is back online. It is using wireless. The studio is using wired, and the living room is using wired. The rest are using Wi-Fi to extend the network. And if we click on the bedroom here, we have 13 devices connected, and it shows you all 13 of the devices here. If we click on the studio, it has 26 devices connected. Garage has 27 devices connected. Theater room has 21. And living room has a total of 12. It just went up to 14. Now 13. So you can see how it redistributes the devices, the load on the network, depending on the speed where you actually are. But we are done with this project. Let's toss it back into the studios with Brad and take a look at this online on Amazon. Welcome back to Supercar Street Racing and the 4K production studio, and you got Brad here once again bringing you some high quality products from Amazon. And today we have finally started replacing our entire network and Wi-Fi system in the Supercar Street Racing huge compound of 1,500 square feet. And we're taking a look at one of those devices right here. This is the Amazon Eero Pro 6E Mesh Wi-Fi system. Now this is the one that comes with 3 devices, and any of them can be the gateway that connects directly to either your existing router or your cable modem to your existing network. So there is the 3 device system right there that is on sale for $439 right now. I did buy that for the house. And then if we go to the next tab here, there is the standalone box that I bought also for the studio right up here, and this extends the Wi-Fi into the studio for all the devices in the studio that are not hardwired, like the lights in the ceiling are on Wi-Fi, and there's a couple of other little things. Most everything in the studio is hardwired, but there are some things that are on Wi-Fi. And then finally we have the extender. Now this isn't a tri-band, it's just a dual band, so it doesn't give you the 3rd band, but they don't make a 6E extender that I could locate. So those guys are all highly rated on Amazon. Check the links in the description when you're ready to purchase this. And I hope you guys enjoyed another video from Supercar Street Racing. I am out of here. I gotta go shopping.